In this episode, we wear colourful tops, a man is in our well, Joe pretends to be a donkey, and I show you a rock. So, welcome to this week's episode, and as you can tell, we got ourselves a digger, not ours, our friends have very kindly lent us the digger, so thank you very much. I'll put a link to their channel and their socials in the description, so you can go and check them out. It's a Polish channel, so if you're not Polish, might not be for you, but if you speak Polish, go and check them out. But yes, prior to today, I've never used a digger before. I had a crash course in how to use it. I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun, but it's not like driving a car. it's quite different. So, right, what are we doing? Over there, the well's being cleaned, so we're having the top well cleaned. They've filled up an IBC. The water tank that's next to the well, that's been filled up as well. And the gentleman that's doing the cleaning, he reckons that there's still about 4 meters of water down in that well. So considering this is being recorded in mid-August, that's pretty good, because that's already at least 2,000 litres out of that well, and there's still more to go. And it's the driest part of the year, so it looks like we shouldn't be running out, because that's going to be the main well that's going to feed the water tank, which is going to be at the top, which is one of the things that we'll be sorting out with the digger. I'll try to clear a section for basically a concrete pad on which the tank's going to sit, but more importantly, we're going to dig a channel from the top barn to the lower barn, because there's not going to be battery storage as such in the lower barn. The energy, the power, electricity is going to be fed from the electrical system in the top barn, which are built, and also the water pipe, which is going to go from the tank, which is going to be at the top. That's going to feed the top and the lower barn as well. And it's about 150 meters, 160 meters to dig. So it's not really something we could be doing by hand. If we have the time, we'll also dig a French drain around the lower barn. We've got the digger, we might as well use it. So let's crack on. Now guys, bear in mind that this is basically the first hour I've ever dug anything with the mini digger, so I just took my time to take some mimosas out just to find my bearings, get used to the controls, and this hill doesn't look like it's very steep, but the gradient in this part of the farm feels a lot steeper than what it actually looks like on camera. Whilst I was busy with the digger at the top of the farm, Joe has arranged for our well to be cleaned, the top one. The lower ones we're going to leave for now, but the top one, because that's going to be used as a water feed into the buildings, we wanted to just get it cleaned before we get the water connected. What you can see here, apart from me messing around with some diesel, is Joe basically moving the little stones and all the muck that the gentleman's pulling off the bottom of the well. So that was basically what was down there. Okay, so I just saw the nice gentleman depart.
Yeah.
So he's been here, well, because he charges for getting to place as well.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough, travel.
Yeah.
So he was with you from about 7 or
7:30 I met him in the town.
And he travels from Monsanto, does he?
About that area, yeah, I think
From
so.
around Monsanto. So, and now it's 4:30 that he's leaving. And he's basically been working non-stop. Obviously I'm busy at the top with the digger, but have you guys even had a lunch break or anything?
Yeah, like we had a few little breaks.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say we didn't stop for lunch.
No, but like every time I looked down, you
yeah.
guys were working. I mean, you were pulling the buckets out with all the muck from down there.
Yeah.
All sorts of stones in there.
Yeah.
With a bucket, this iron buckets in down there.
At the bottom, yeah. So,
Wow.
So he said, when he put the ladder in, he said, oh, there's something weird at the bottom of this and I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
He said, so let's, so basically the well had 4 meters worth of water in it. So that's quite a lot of water for
that's middle of
August. It still had 4 meters of water.
And this well, I would say, is about 3 meters across.
3.3 meters across.
That wasn't far. 3.3. Yeah. So that's
a lot of
water.
Yeah. So he's got a massive pump. He filled up an IBC on the back. He filled up the
water tank
over here. And then the rest he was pumping out onto the farm.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we don't really have any other than
I mean, a lot of it seems to have that muck in it anyway, so you probably wouldn't want to put it into a tank, can you?
No, you wouldn't want to use it. The
this
whole
bit of
was
the farm where the neighbour's planting his seeds, I think they're going to be quite happy to have all that.
Yeah.
A bit of water and
bit of water.
Probably high nutrient rich muck on it.
So, and I'm glad he's cleaned it because it was a little bit smelly. Even right at the beginning the water was a little bit smelly. At the end it was black as anything. Between us he went in the well, he dug the stuff out. The only stipulation he has is that there's somebody here when he goes in the actual well.
Yeah,
that he's not
makes
on his
sense.
own.
It's safety,
so
isn't it?
I kicked around, I did a bit of pruning, I haven't finished yet.
Because on the subject, the grapes that you pulled off, they're delicious.
Yeah. So they were here tangled in with this apple tree.
That's
so
amazing.
they'll come from here somewhere.
That's amazing. I hope they come back because
I'm sure
they're delicious.
They will. I'm sure that they will.
They're like proper green eating grapes.
They
I mean, they've
nice
got pips,
grapes.
but they're very sweet.
Not
very
compared
nice.
to some though. Very few pips. So his one stipulation is somebody's at the top. So I kicked around, and then it got to a point where, he needed stuff coming up, and he does the majority of the heavy lifting. So he'll pull the buckets up from down there, and then I just had to pull them up over the wall and tip them out. But yeah, the whole chain of buckets from this well mechanism must have all fallen off and fallen into the bottom of the
well. They must have rotten through at some point and fell through. But also, you said that, and you showed me, so I don't know if you want to show it now. This works.
This still works. Imagine I'm a donkey.
Yeah. That's amazing. So we just need to basically paint it.
Paint it and oil it.
Paint it, oil it a little bit. It's going to be beautiful.
Yeah. So this works, absolutely no problem. So that's really good.
Now, there is a little bit of water in there, but that could be just from his jet wash.
No, so
because he washes. Well, he jet washes all the walls.
He jet washes all the walls as he goes down. However, there were 3 inlets of water seeping in through there.
Oh, 3?
Yeah. There's still a frog in there as well.
Okay.
He did ask if I wanted the frog taken out, but I said, well, he said frogs are a nightmare to catch. I said, well, as long as he's going to be alright, he can stay. So that stone over there to the right, there's water coming up through a crack there. There's water coming in from down here, I believe. And then there's more water coming in from over there.
So basically from over there, from where the camera is,
Yeah.
and from actually higher up,
Yeah.
even though we're at the highest point of the farm, obviously the sort of the hillside goes a little bit further than our farm
But that's
is.
a deep well, that's 10 metres deep.
So
that
this is
well.
10 metres.
Yeah.
So, I mean, considering it's 10 metres and there was 4 metres of water, so that's nearly half full in the driest part of the year.
Yeah. So we think that you probably got Joachim's message mixed up, and maybe he said this never runs dry.
No? Well, I mean, obviously my Portuguese, I can understand the well, a lot, but from what I understood, he was surprised that there was still water,
Yeah.
even at the lower one. But you
I mean,
don't know.
we would be surprised if this ever runs dry,
Yeah.
having seen it
That'd
now.
be good news for us.
Yeah. So.
I mean, considering how much, like, I'm just scraping the rock basically at the top.
know.
And don't get me wrong, because the spade, I don't know what you call them, the bucket, I think they're called buckets.
Bucket, yeah.
Because it's got 3 teeth on it. It does, if you raise the revs on the digger, it will break up the rock gradually over time because it's schist up there, so it's a relatively weak rock.
Yeah.
But still, there's probably about that much soil and the rest is just rock.
Yeah. So this is schist at the bottom.
Yeah.
So we already know we're on schist, but I have no idea how they got 10 metres deep.
But it'll be interesting to see what level it rises up to now that it's been emptied. And whether it's how far it's going to go in August, and 2, the fact, like I say, it's the driest part of the year, whether it's going to fill up.
Fill up at all, absolutely.
I would be surprised if it didn't fill up at least a bit.
It is filling up as we speak, even I can see it.
Yeah?
Because obviously I've been watching him in there for the last goodness knows how many hours.
So you know what it was like.
Yeah, so I know how much water he got out.
And what it was like at its sort
Yeah.
of driest.
Yeah, yeah.
And you reckon that you
That's
can already
already
see.
filling up.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Especially that there's no muck there at the bottom now.
No muck
It's all
there.
rock.
Yeah.
So very good. So, well, upcoming will be your plumbing adventures beginning. Because you now have to sort us out. Well, you need to design the water system, this section of it, in
Yeah.
terms of the exact pump we need. I'll get
Yeah.
you power down here, obviously, because I'm doing the electric. You need to sort out any filtration, any
system.
pipes, anything like that, so you can talk everybody through how that's going to work once you've designed it. But yeah, and also, now soon rather than later, next week or so, or even maybe this week, we need to get a cover on this.
Yes, we do.
Because obviously we've got this apple tree, which again you've pruned.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I've
that's
pruned
good.
everything back so it won't fall in
but
the
we don't
well.
want more stuff falling down there
No,
to
we
make
do
a
not.
mess. So yeah, there's going to be a cover
So probably
going
next
on
project
this.
will be
Getting
getting a cover
you
on
might be
this.
doing that by yourself whilst I'm digging the rest.
That's fine.
As I briefly touched on in the last video, I had to stop working on the tap last week because we basically got the digger, so we had to just prioritize that whilst we had it. And as you can see, unfortunately, their gazebo has been torn to shreds. Now, with the digging at the top for the concrete pad done, I started to make my way down. However, before we move on, let's have a quick look at what this place looked like only a few months ago. Absolutely covered in dense mimosa forest. Now, that's gone, and now we have those lovely solar panels and an area cleared for the water tank. for the most part, roots weren't really too much of an issue. I think they only came up about twice or so over the whole digging process. What was more of a problem was bedrock.
So I'm about 40% in terms of digging the trench, from the lower barn, which is behind the camera, up to the top barn, which is obviously behind me there. But I've hit bedrock basically again. I mean, over there it's not been too bad, but over here, yeah, I'm having to chip schist with the digger a little bit, because, yeah, I don't know if it's going to focus or not, but it's just rock. It's tough going, even with the digger. So there will be places that will be quite shallow, but that's one of the reasons why it's over here next to the wall, so that it, you know, it's a lot less exposed than, for example, underneath the driveway over here or anywhere else on the farm, because vehicles very rarely, if ever, go down here. In the past, our neighbour came down with a plough for land clearance purposes, but we want to stop that in the olive grove from next year, so even that shouldn't be happening.
And as I was just digging there towards the top, a neighbour came round. It's always nice to see him come on, and his border collies are very smart. These are very cute dogs. Right, let's talk you through what we've dug and what's gonna go where. So over here, where we are at the top, the idea is that the pipes are gonna go from this sort of left side, which is the neighbour's side. That is then going to go down this trench, and in the top section you'll have two pipes. You'll have one pipe going down to the well. Now, if you're wondering why we haven't gone a more direct route from the top barn to the well, it's because there's already a hole in the wall of the well, if you like, on that side of the well, so we're just going to utilize that for sending the pipe down. The electricity is going to go down from the top down to the well as well to feed the pump. And backtracking a little bit, we're going to have another pipe going down from the top barn to the lower barn. Okay, that's going to be the water feed from the filtration and the water tank at the top. Both of the buildings will be serviced by the same water tank, by the same filters and the same electrical system. In terms of electrics, all that's going to be happening is there's going to be a feed cable going down this long trench to the bottom barn, and there will be just a separate fuse board and a separate earthing point in the lower building.
And the digging is now complete. I am so glad that our friends lent us this digger, because without it, no chance. This is definitely not something we could have dug by hand. We would have been here for weeks and weeks. So yeah, really glad that we managed to get our hands on one of these. This was the first time I've used a digger, but it turns, I don't think they're particularly difficult to use. You just need to get find your bearings a little bit with the two joysticks, and yeah, I'm glad that our friend who lent us this gave me a tip and just reminded me how rather unstable these things are. So you have to be mindful not just of how you're digging, where you're digging, but also how the dig is actually positioned. But luckily there's been no drama, and yeah, we managed to get it all dug. I've also started off by trying to flatten an area for a water tank behind the top barn, but it's too rocky. I managed to maybe shave off 10-15 centimeters tops, and I think I under-ordered gravel, sand and cement for that concrete pad, because I've basically done my calculations based on it being quite flat, which it is not. So yeah, it's gonna, on one side is going to have to be built up quite a bit, so there's going to be a lot of concrete going there. But we've got electricity, so this time is going to be a cement mixer job. But before we do that, we need to lay the pipes and the cables in this trench, because we're going to need the trailer to go and get the cement mixer. So it's a bit like Lego, you need to do one bit before you can do the next, basically. So, but it does feel like we're making good progress. Once electricity and water connections are in place, that's a chunky chunky bit done. So yeah, we're very happy with that. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and we'll see you next week. Have a good week, guys. Bye for now.